Emir Timur was born on April 8, 1336 in the city of Kesh, within the Chagatai Khanate. His father was Taragai, the leader of the Barlas tribe, and his mother was Tekina, a noblewoman. There is debate as to whether his origins lie with the Uzbeks or the Mongols, but the language of his tribe and himself is the Turkic language. The Mongol Empire, particularly the one founded by Genghis Khan, survived and grew for some time after his death in 1227. But by the beginning of the 14th century, it had fragmented into dynasties. Timur was raised with rigorous military training from a young age, learning skills such as swordsmanship, archery, and horsemanship. One of the important qualities Timur acquired from childhood was his relationship with Emir Kazgan. Emir Kazgan was one of the great commanders and statesmen of the Chagatai Khanate. Over time, he developed such a close relationship with Timur that he married his daughter Olcay Turkan to him. The fact that Timur was the son of a tribal chief was also one of the factors in him becoming Kazgan's student. Although his exact date is unknown, Emir Kazgan, who is believed to have been killed by his enemies around 1358, sowed the seeds of a great leader like Timur, whom history would later witness. Following General Kazgan's death, Timur had lost political power. Statesmen who were hostile to the Kazgan court had turned it against him. During this period, they frequently clashed with the Mongols. After years of living as a fugitive and enduring hardship, his own state 1317. Of course, this path had not been easy for him. In 1370, according to Turkmen tradition, he declared his sovereignty by sitting on a white goatskin, and this began the campaigns that would ravage the world. For Timur, the issue was not merely a matter of the throne. After consolidating his power in Transoxiana, he turned his attention to Khorasan. For it was impossible to march eastward without securing stability in the west. One of his first major targets was Herat. Considered the heart of Khorasan, this city, with its wealth and strategic location, was Timur's gateway to Iran. When he marched on it in 1381, Herat offered a brief resistance. However, it could not withstand Timur's disciplined army for long. The city surrendered, and thus the gates of Khorasan were opened to Timur. Between 1381 and 1383, Timur continued his campaigns relentlessly, arguing that the entire region of Khorasan needed to be brought under control. He marched against the Sabzawads, eliminating remnants of locals' religious and political power. He established military garrisons. He integrated tax reforms. He liquidated small local power centers in Khorasan. Those who resisted and rebelled were brutally murdered. The Sabzawar state and Khorasan were brought under control. The next target was Mazandaran. Mazandaran was a small but commercially important state located on the Caspian Sea coast. Due to its mountainous terrain, there was no suitable area for open warfare. This posed a significant problem for Mazandaran's enemies. The Mazandaran dynasty, also known as the Marashis, was a Shia Muslim dynasty, and their geopolitical location was their only means of defense, keeping them secure. In 1384, Timur, after relentless battle in the rugged mountains, brought the region under his control and punished the local dynasty by exiling them. Apart from looting, not much destruction was done. The regionless tax and trade routes were seized. The political and military from places like Khorasan and Mazandaran were now gone, and the great campaign was about to begin. After Mazandaran, Timur advanced relentlessly towards Ray City. This city brings the traces of the art and civilization of the old Seljuk Turkic state, and swiftly captured it. He then went to the rich and magnificent city of Kazvin, which also quickly fell. His next targets were the city of Zenjan and Sultaniye, which he also quickly conquered. Meanwhile, Ahmet Celayir, the ruler of the Celayir lands, left his country upon hearing that Timur had arrived. By 1385, Timur had reached Tabriz, the former Ilkhanate capital, and conquered all of Azerbaijan. Not content with this, they also captured the city of Kars, Ahlat, Adilcevaz, Van, Sürmeli, and Shirvan in succession. Around this time, Tokhtamış, the Khagan of the Golden North, seized the opportunity presented by Timur's departure from Tabriz and attacked Azerbaijan, carrying out plunder and massacres. Yet, Timur had always regarded him as his son and respected him because of his descent from Genghis Khan. Upon receiving the news, Timur, who was heading towards Iran, changed his course and began to move north, his eyes blazing with rage. The Georgian kingdom was the buffer zone in the Caucasus. If it were captured, the next attack from Tokhtamış would be prevented. Indeed, King Bagrat V of Georgia had turned a blind eye to Tokhtamış, attacked on Tabriz and had not objected to his southward advance. This needed to be accounted for. Timur, arriving at the capital Tbilisi, initiated a tight siege. Although the Georgian King Bagrat and his armies attempted to resist, they were utterly annihilated by the ruthless and disciplined armies of the steppe. Tbilisi fell. The city was plundered from top to bottom. Those who resisted were massacred. The fields were set on fire, and King Bagrat was taken prisoner. The blow dealt to the Georgians in 1386 was crucial in halting the Golden Horde and Tokhtamış advance into the Caucasus. For Timur, gaining control of all of Iran was crucial. After subduing the Georgians and capturing their king, he turned his attention to the Muzaffarid dynasty, conquering this dynasty was essential for securing complete control over Iran. In 1387, Timur arrived in Isfahan, the most important city of the Muzaffarids, the last dynasty in Iran. Before engaging in a siege, Timur would send envoys to the castle administrators demanding their surrender. If they surrendered, the city's inhabitants and elite would be spared. But if they chose to resist, not a single living thing in the city would survive. Fortunately, Isfahan had initially agreed to surrender. Negotiations were complete, and Timur, without wasting any time, deployed about 4,000 soldiers to collect taxes inside the fortress, while he himself set out to capture the city of Shiraz. And it was here that Timur's superhuman rage would be unleashed. As he was heading towards Shiraz, news arrived that the soldiers he had tasked with collecting taxes in the city had been massacred by the locals of Isfahan. Enraged by this news, Timur returned to Isfahan and launched the siege. The siege lasted 10 days, and finally Timur armies entered the city. Timur shouted the following order to all his soldiers in the city square. Every soldier will bring 2 heads. Anyone who fails to do so will have her own head cut off. After this order, Isfahan was practically drenched in blood. Some soldiers, unable to fulfill this duty conscientiously, bought heads from their comrades with money. They had their names noted down by the soldiers on duty in the square. Later, these collected skulls were used to be skull towered throughout the city. 70,000 people were killed, and Timur's anger had not yet subsided. According to Johannes Schildberger, a European traveler and writer who was with Timur, the events unfolded as follows. Upon receiving news that his soldiers had been killed, Timur returned to the city and besieged it for about 15 days. Children under the age of 7 were gathered together. He ordered that these children be trampled under the hooves of horses. The mothers of the children begged Timur, falling at his feet, but Timur ignored them and had the children crushed under horses' hooves. Even though some soldiers did not want to do it, Timur forced them to. After these events, Abu Hafiz, who toured the entire city, stated that he counted a total of 28 towers, each containing 1,500 to 2,000 heads. The price of the people of Isfahan slaughtering the soldiers was the death of 70,000 people. A horrifying number for those times. See you in other videos. Steel and Glory enthusiast.